Welcome friends. In this video we will actually discuss some of the Java interview questions. So earlier we had discussed the questions alone. In this we will actually discuss what actually the answers are also. So because we will discuss it. I think some of you might have seen that live video. So there is a live video discussing the interview questions and the video. In this video what we will do is we will discuss both the questions and answers. In that video I had asked you to go through all the questions and answers. I mean just find the answers yourself. Here this is for people who doesn't have enough time to go through find the answers themselves. So they want they can go through all these things in this video, one single video. Okay, so let's start. So the first question we had asked was the difference between the primitive and reference data type. The primitive data type actually holds the data itself. At the same time, reference data type, including the objects, actually holds the reference only instead of the data. Okay, so it is actually memory address in the heap. Okay, describe the concept of object-oriented programming. What are the main things and what is the uses? That's it. Another one. So object-oriented programming has key features like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Encapsulation means all the data and the method to operate on this data will be held together. That is called encapsulation. It is a single unit. And inheritance means all this data, all the class data will be can be inherited to child class. That is, if this is a parent class, we can inherit all this data on methods to the child class as well. So the features can be inherited. So it actually increases the code reusability. Okay, we don't have to reuse everything. So all these things are available in the child class as well. Polymorphism and abstraction. Polymorphism means, what's polymorphism? Polymorphism is actually ability of an object to show multiple characters at multiple times, or features or characters. That's how it is. I mean, normally when we are having a superclass, for example, we are having a superclass vehicle with a method get characters or get description. So it will give the description of the vehicle. This and when we are inheriting this to the child class, two child classes there. One is bus and one is car. Both of them implements the same method, and it gives description of car and bus. Okay, so when we actually use this, what happens is when create an object of the vehicle and get the description using both the bus and the car, then what happens is it will give the description of car and bus. The same object, that is same vehicle object, gives that means vehicle object actually gives description of car and bus. Okay, when we are accessing it like that. So this is polymorphism, exhibiting different characters at different times. Same method actually exhibiting different characters at different times. So abstraction. So we can actually hide certain things inside a class that should not be seen outside. Okay, that's a point of abstraction. Or we can even have classes, that abstract classes, that should be implemented somewhere else. We don't want to implement something at some point. That means that particular character of the class may be independent of the what is that, parent class. Then we will be able to implement it otherwise. I mean, we should implement it at other places. It's a part of abstraction. It promotes, I mean, both of them can be used, and at the same time it promotes what's the use of all these things is it promotes modularity, reusability, and maintainability. So maintainability, how actually it promotes modularity. Everything, as I told you, one single class actually holds the data as well as methods to operate on them. Like that, it how it is reusable. Each and every classes, each and every objects are reusable. Each and every class are reusable. Each and every methods are reusable. And state child class can have parent class method. All these are actually improving the reusability. And here what we do is maintainability. How it actually increases maintainability. We are not writing the code again and again, reinventing the wheel. Like that, it is actually improving maintainability. All the classes improves the maintainability of the OOPS concepts, increases the maintainability. Access modifiers. Access modifiers we are having. The next question is access modifiers. And in the access modifiers we are having public, protected, default, and private. Public is having the least restriction, protected next level, default next level, and the highest restriction is having the private is having. So least restriction means when we create an object and when we are trying to access the data member or the class, we will be able to do that from everywhere. That is public. When we are using public, we will be able to access that particular data member or method from anywhere. That is public. If we are protected, it's having next level of restriction. That is, when we will be able to access. We will be able to access a protected data member, protected method from where? From any package and all inheriting classes. And all inheriting classes means it can be within the package or outside. And next is the default. Default means it is available only within the inheriting classes of the same package. And the fourth one is the private, which is having the highest level of restriction. The highest level of restriction means it is available only within the class, okay, not anywhere else. That is, if you are creating an object, we want to access that particular data member or method, it is available private. When we give the access specifier as private, it is available within the class, that is within the object or within the object only. That is it. Access modifiers control access to the class members and publicly. Explain the purpose of garbage collector in Java. It works. The garbage collection automatically reclaims unreferenced object. So whenever we are not using an object, it is marked for a garbage collector, and garbage collector actually finds all these unreferenced object and actually frees the memory. And if actually it is a very good feature of Java. It clean up all the things. We don't have to do that manually. Differentiate between inheritance, polymorphism, providing examples. Okay, as we had earlier discussed the polymorphism. Inheritance in polymorphism is coming continuously as part of inheritance. Or if there is no inheritance, there is no polymorphism. That's how it is. So if the inheritance and polymorphism both are OOPS concepts, but without inheritance there is no polymorphism. Polymorphism actually depends on inheritance only. Inheritance means whatever features that's available in the parent class is available in the child class. At the same time, polymorphism means what? Polymorphism actually helps showing different characters at different times. So it can, same parent can have different characteristics at different time, defined based on the implementation in the child class. It promotes code reuse. Allow object of different types to respond to the same method differently. Describe different types of exception. Okay, multiple types of exception. You can create any type of exception. Runtime exception is there. Normal exception, business exceptions you can create. Any exception can be created, extending an exception class like that. We can handle it using try catch. Try catch block actually handles exception. If there is no exception, try will not go to, the control will not go to the catch block. If there is any exception, in case of exception or not, it will go to the finally block. So any try catch block, there is a end block called finally. Whatever happens, it enters the finally block also. Finally block. That's it. Static methods and variables drawbacks. So static methods and variables are not part of objects, it's part of the class. So if you want to access the variable, you have to use class name dot static method or variable name. So you can actually, if you want to find number of objects created, you can create a static variable and try to increment it every time a instance is created, instance of the object is created. That way you will be able to find how many instances have been created all throughout. Multithreading. Multithreading is actually ability to execute multiple tasks at the same time concurrently, just improving performance and responsiveness. So okay, purpose of interface and their role in achieving abstraction. Interfaces are basically abstract. You will not be able to give any concrete implementation there. Whenever you use implements keyword and implement an interface, in that child class, what you have to do is you have to concretely implement all the methods in the interface, not one or two. Every method in the interface has to be implemented within the implementing class. Otherwise, it is of no use. So it will always throw compile time errors. Actually, it is useful for decoupling and promotes abstraction. Describe functionality of collection framework and commonly used functions. Functionality means it's actually if you have a list of things, you can put it somewhere. Just instead of array list, you can manipulate it anyway. There is linked list, there is vectors, there is sets, hash maps, hash sets, array list. You have to decide which one you should use. Don't use the wrong one, because at sometimes what happens is array list can have duplicate values at the same time. Hash set or set cannot have duplicate values. If you are inserting or adding duplicate data to hash set, you will lose data. What are duplicate will be removed. At the same time, it will be it can. So what we can say is that ArrayList now, when you put all the data into an array from an ArrayList set, you get what? You get a unique data list, whatever. But another drawback of set is that it doesn't even remember which is the index. Unable to remember the index, so the position actually changes like that. So ArrayList can remember position and can have duplicate values at the same time. Set cannot remember position, or it can have only unique values. So remember all these things. Lot of performance issues also will be there with different collection classes. Just go through each of them. There is a lot of things. Abstract class interface. Abstract class are normal classes. All the features of a normal class can be there, but there are few abstract methods that should be concretely implemented in the child class. Otherwise, it's of no use. Okay, concretely implemented in child class means you extend the class, you extend the parent class, you create a child class, using the extends keyword, extend the parent class. So then you actually implement the abstract method. All the abstract method you have to implement there. Similarly, as I told you earlier, interfaces have only abstract methods. That means you have to implement all the abstract methods within the implementing class using implements keyword. Okay, these are the things. Inner classes are different different types of inner classes are there. Head classes are there. Anonymous inner classes are there. Different types of classes are there, and inner classes are there. Uses is that it improves the reusability and code organization. These are the uses. You can create a inner class and access it from anywhere. There's no issues. Okay, different types of inner classes. All of them actually improves the reusability and modularity. Significance of generics in Java. Okay, the generics actually helps a class to have it actually helps a class to have one specific type of input, then multiple types. We can rule out the possibility of having other types. It's actually a method for type safety, improved type safety, and generic type safety by specifying data types in collections methods, preventing runtime errors and inconsistencies. Annotation. Different types of annotations are there. Use of annotation is, it improves some of them, and it has different types of different uses and different when using different annotations. Dependency injection also there. Performance is there. Code documentation is there. These are the main. That is, remember it. Annotations add metadata to code for various purposes. It is actually metadata to the code for various purposes like dependency injection, performance, and code documentation. Remember, it is adding metadata to the code for dependency injection, performance, and code document. So each one of the annotations may be different, having different purpose. Every annotation is not the same. Explain the difference between synchronized and volatile keywords in multithreading context. Synchronized and volatile keywords. Those people who have already worked in threads may have come across synchronized methods synchronized keywords, synchronized blocks. Use of that is it allows only one thread at a time into that block or a method. Okay, so actually it is restrictive for multiple thread to enter and execute at the same time. Okay. Synchronized ensures exclusive access to shared resources in multi-threaded context and preventing race conditions. Volatile guarantees visibility of changes to fields across the threads. Discuss the concept of lambda expression and their impact of functional programming. All these things I have discussed multiple times in my previous videos. So please go through that videos. It is very useful. Lambda expressions provide unsize anonymous functions, enhancing the functional's programming style. Lambda, be careful with that, don't overuse it. It actually has a problem, less readability, and maintainability is very high. Maintainability is very less because people doesn't understand what you are writing. Lambda expression can be written anyway. That is another issue. So if they don't understand, they will try to rewrite entire thing. That's how it is. Instead of using the lambda expression. Explain the purpose of JDK and JR. JDK is a collection of tools, while JR is runtime environment where classes are run. Java classes, that is Java class byte files is called Java class, that is run. Okay. Shallow and deep copy. Shallow copy actually has less memory footprint at the same time. But deep copy actually has a very large footprint, almost same as the copied object, impacting the linked objects. Explains how you have to be careful. Every linked object is actually created again. You have to be careful with that. It's actually a copy only. Explain the concept of serialization used in persisting data. So serialization is a marker interface. It doesn't have any other use. It doesn't have any methods also. If you implement serializable, what happens? It marks for serialization. That is, you can write to files, read from files. Using that particular object, you can write to files, read from files, or even transmit over a network. These are the uses. Describe the benefit of using design pattern and provide examples. 2 or 3 design patterns that we come across every day is actually singleton methods, factory methods, factor patterns, abstract factor patterns. What is a singleton? Simply speaking, what is a singleton? Singleton actually helps in preventing creation of multiple objects. When in some cases what happens is object size may be weak, or there's no use of creating multiple objects, and you can, whenever this scene comes up, you will tend to give the current reference itself, current object as the whenever you are trying to, someone is trying to create an object, or either you will actually prevent creation of new objects using some private constructors. Private constructors actually helps in preventing creation of object from outside, and in that case you will be you can see that you can try to find if there is already existing object object created, then if that is not there, then you can create the object like that. You can lot of ways of doing the same thing is that is that's singleton is there, abstract is there, I mean what is that, adapter pattern is there, observer pattern is there, factory pattern. You most commonly use factory pattern. Every day you will use that. We want for connecting for creating socket, for connecting to database. Every time you are using all these things. Okay. So these are the things that we'll be discussing. If you have any doubts, or if you want an implementation, please come to me. Okay, please give comments. I can help you solve the issue. Okay, fine, whatever it is. So please come continue to like, share, comment, subscribe. These are all short questions. At least one of these questions you can I mean, I am not saying that every question will be asked every time. At least you can find some of these questions there in an interview. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was helpful for you, please comment that also. Okay, yeah, thank you.